Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video, I am going to walk you through the nuances of asyncio.TaskGroup cancellation in Python 3.15. I have seen these take down production systems because if you do not handle task cancellation correctly, you end up with zombie tasks and memory leaks that are nearly impossible to debug at 3 in the morning. Let me show you how to do it right. This is the definitive guide to task group cancellation. We are going to move past the basics and look at how the interpreter actually manages your concurrent execution flow. These are the topics we are going to cover in this video. Specifically, we will look at the problem with unhandled failures, the mechanics of cancellation, the internal loop architecture, and production error patterns. We will also cover common pitfalls and decision criteria for choosing task group over gather. So do not skip ahead, watch all the way through to actually understand this properly. If you want a refresher on Python fundamentals, we have a complete Python tutorial on this channel. Hit subscribe and join our WhatsApp community linked in the description for more practical resources every week. So why is this a problem? Imagine you have 5 concurrent API calls. If the second one fails, the remaining 4 might keep running in the background. They are effectively leaks. They hold open sockets, database handles, and memory. In a high throughput microservice, that adds up to a system crash in minutes. TaskGroup was built to solve exactly this by providing a unified lifecycle manager. So, what is task group cancellation? Really, it is a mechanism for structured concurrency. Think of it like a team lead on a construction site. If one worker has an accident, the lead immediately halts everyone else to assess the situation. Task group works exactly like that for your software. It ensures that when one task fails, everything else stops, preventing inconsistent states. Before you start, make sure you have the right setup. First, you need Python 3.11 or newer. Python 3.15 is recommended to get the latest performance and stability patches. Verify your version by running python --version in your terminal. You also need a solid code editor, and please use a virtual environment to keep your dependencies clean. If you are on Linux or Mac OS, you can open your terminal directly. On Windows, just press the Start key, type terminal, and hit enter to get your command prompt. Let us look at the architecture. The event loop delegates control to the task group context. The task group then spawns multiple tasks in parallel. If any one of these tasks fails, the task group context immediately sends a cancellation signal to the remaining ones. This is critical because it forces synchronization across all child coroutines. The loop handles the cleanup and the context manager exits cleanly. Here is a basic implementation. We define a worker that sleeps for a given number of seconds and raises an error if the input is 1. In our main function, we enter the task group context manager. We create 2 tasks. Because the second task fails, the task group automatically cancels the first one. Notice that we wrap the entire context manager in a try except block to catch the propagated error. When you run this, you will see the exception caught by our block. Crucially, you will not see task 2 done even though it was supposed to finish successfully because the task group cancelled it immediately when task 1 failed. This is the behavior you want in production to ensure safety. In a real production scenario, you would structure your code like this. We set up logging to track our execution. We use a list comprehension to spawn multiple fetch tasks within the task group. Once the context manager exits, we know all tasks have completed successfully. Then, we can safely collect the results. If any fetch fails, the group cancels the others and raises an exception group, which is the standard way to handle multiple failures in modern Python. The output shows the logs reflecting concurrent execution. Since all tasks succeeded, we get the combined results. This pattern is robust because the task group lifecycle acts as a barrier, ensuring that we never attempt to process incomplete or partial data from a failed pipeline. Now, what is a common mistake? You might try to instantiate a task group manually and create tasks outside the context manager. This will result in a runtime error. Remember, the task group must be used as an asynchronous context manager. The internal event loop logic requires that start and end markers exist to register the group correctly. The fix is simple. Always use the async with syntax. This ensures the task group is properly initialized and can manage the life cycle of the coroutines created within it. Consider an e-commerce platform processing 5,000 orders per minute. If the tax calculation service fails, you do not want the payment gateway to proceed. By using task group, they ensure that if any part of the checkout microservice chain fails, the entire request is cancelled, preventing inconsistent database states. It is a massive win for data integrity. So when should you use this? Use task group for all or nothing workflows. It is perfect for complex async operations where you need to manage failures together. Do not use it, however, if you need one task to keep running while another fails. It is also a bad fit for long-running background workers like health checkers that should live independently of your main request pipeline. Specifically, that includes use task group when you need all or nothing execution for concurrent tasks. Use task group to simplify exception handling in complex async workflows. Do not use task group if you need fine-grained control over individual task status during failure. And do not use task group for long-running background tasks that should live independently of the main flow. Who benefits from this? DevOps engineers save time by not writing cleanup scripts for orphaned tasks. Backend developers write much cleaner code with less boilerplate. Team leads get better system reliability because the concurrency model is enforced by the language. And SREs, you get clear, traceable exceptions instead of mysterious background failures. To recap, always use task group as an asynchronous context manager. It automatically cancels pending tasks on failure. Make sure you handle exception group to get visibility into what went wrong. Do not create tasks outside the context block, or your code will crash. And finally, use this pattern for atomic operations to guarantee data integrity across your services. It is the most robust way to write concurrent Python today. If this video helped you, hit like and subscribe. It genuinely helps the channel grow. Join our WhatsApp community linked in the description for more practical IT resources every week. Thanks for watching. This channel is dedicated to providing knowledgeable content for IT professionals building their skills in Linux, cloud, DevOps, Python, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. Subscribe to stay updated, and I will see you in the next one.